Well, on ground, Business Today in India today is here at Bharat Mandapam for the Global AI Summit, and I'm here in the country pavilion and must say the domination has to be from countries from the European Union. But what has taken my eyes today is this friend by the name of CyRo, and I'm going to go to Gokul, straight to Gokul, to explain us what CyRo does.
So CyRo is pretty much like a baby. So it figures out objects that it has never seen before. So your life actually experiencing how it's actually kind of trying to learn an unknown object that's been dropped in front of them. So often in a manufacturing line and or in any real world deployments, robots struggle if they are faced with an unfamiliar situation or an object, right? So when their colors changes or a mirror finished object is there or a transparent object is there like a bottle, right? It starts struggling to understand how to kind of pick them. So instead, a human baby without the knowledge of a particular object can go and act on them, right? It can go and pick it, it can understand and so on and so forth, right? Plays around with it. So it's not stalled. It's not like completely unknown for it to, completely stalled in a way where it's not able to recognize an object, right? So that's exactly what the system is able to do here. So it has no idea what it is actually picking, but when the object is in front of it, it goes and tries to understand, think about it, apply the right amount of force, pick it, grasp it, and then drop into the location, right? So, yeah.
Has CyRo attempted a pilot project in any of the assembly lines?
We do. So right now we have Audi as one of our customers in Munich, and then these are all pilot engagements at this point. And we also have a semiconductor customer who produces semiconductor equipments. They are the third largest in the world. So for a fab lab, and in most of those cases, it's assembly. Or possibly just the maintenance tasks into the machine, right? So that's what pretty much we.
How old is this?
This is a 6-year-old startup, completely based out of Bangalore, and
made in India. I need to re-echo that made in India for what has happened.
It's an Indian company, entirely out of Bangalore, based out of Bangalore. So we also have a small R&D office in Switzerland. So where some portions of this robot arm technology gets built there, and that's why we are here in the Swiss pavilion today. And so that's pretty much it. So
great. You've spoken about how it could be helpful in semiconductor and the auto assembly line. You're also, of course, dealing with a couple of companies based out of Munich. Has this kind of been help in balancing costs and be effective for the overall companies?
So one of the primary value that we bring to the customer is a software-defined factory, right? So when you have a machine which can figure out objects by itself, right, on the fly, it can also adapt to variations. So only difference that you have between a sedan and let's say SUV, and if you want to change your line from a sedan to an SUV or an EV plant, right? Often customers face with a lot of struggle in changing it because you have to physically change the entire infrastructure, right? What if you could just make that whole bunch of factory machines to start producing a new kind of object just by changing the software? Click of a button, right? And that's where we are getting into, right? And all of our pilots with the customer is also to imagine such kind of a generic general purpose line where one form factor of a robot can try to handle multiple different tasks, from assembling a door mirror to a door to all the way wires and steering wheels and so and so, from there to even your mobile phone assembly or your laptop assembly. So those are all entirely manual today if you're trying to put most of the parts together, right? So that's a place where we are trying to make this machine go and work, and especially it becomes a challenge for engineers to build machines for them, because every small variation that the object may go through, you may have to carefully craft and then engineer for that, right? So you need to know how well it's going to fail before in hand, right? And then you need to prevent those failures. But what if a system that can go and explore, if it's not the way it was taught, it still goes and picks and figures out, oh, now it's familiar, now what do I do? Just like if I give you a coin, you don't take millions of images for you to understand them. All you do is tilt, right? So that you can see the things very clearly. So that's exactly what we bring into the system. So
do you have to pre-train CyRo, or it just goes with any random product that I put? For example, if I go for this, I put it here?
Please.
Yeah. Okay, and this is where it scans? Yeah. Okay, so
right now the robot is trying to understand what has been dropped in front of it. It has no idea that it's a bottle, like a baby, right? It don't know it's a bottle. It'll go and put in its mouth and throw it out, right? So that's what actually happens. So any pen or anything that you actually put in there, it just kind of tries to figure that out. So there are two aspects to it. One, the intuitiveness about the object, but still it doesn't know what that object is. So if tomorrow if you want to instruct it to open the bottle or pour the water out and so on, so those are things that you have to train on and above. So rather than training on the objects, we are making them to be trained only on the tasks that they are supposed to perform, because that's always taught to a human being. right? So what is very intuitive for a human being is going and grasping the object, right? So that intuitive part, if we just make it into the robot, then the robot becomes entirely, free for it to kind of, it becomes trainable per se, right? So you can teach a baby what task to do. You cannot teach the ability to go and pick an object. So that's something is very inherent to them. So that's what we do.
What is your future expansion plan?
Sure. So we by 2028 we would be shipping one robot per day. That's what. So 300 robots per year is what we are actually planning to get to, and that would also need a bit more of a global expansion for us. And then we have parts coming from 400 different parts going to this, 16 different countries that we source from. So you also have to tame that a little bit. So we would possibly reach a $40 million of revenue, $40 to $45 million of revenue by 2028. So that's where we are actually looking at. And we'll also expand our team. We are an 80 member team now. We will expand based out of Bangalore entirely, and a small 6-member team in Switzerland. We may have to make it 3 times or 4 times the size of the team right now. So that's the path we are at. So
Thank you very much, Gokul. Wishing you and CyRo good luck with this project.
thank you so much. Thanks for this. Yeah.